all your photo, video, and voiceover needs, check out the fine folks at Blueberry Productions. They will take good care of you. If you don't believe me, you can see for yourself. Check out their work at blueberryproductions.tv, the Facebook page, Blueberry Productions, also a Vimeo page, a YouTube page, and it's Blueberry, BLUBERRY, Prod on Twitter. Check them out today. Blueberry Productions, great people, great work, great service.
Hey there, your yard took a real beating this summer. Luckily, Scott's Turf Builder Winter Guard has your back. Just feed your grass with Scott's again this fall when the air is cool and the soil is warm. It's the perfect time to give your lawn a boost. If you do, Winter Guard will give your yard the nourishment it needs to help weak, thin grass recover and support root growth, giving you a greener, more resilient lawn both now and next spring. Guaranteed. Grab a bag of Scott's Turf Builder Winter Guard today. You'll be back to barbecuing in no time. This is a Scott's Yard.
Hey parents, we all try to be extra careful with our children in the car, but then we get an important call or text. Remember, our children are watching. Make every drive a good example. Be in the zone. Turn off your phone. Visit childrenshospital.vanderbilt.org/BITZ to learn more about our teen driver safety program. Brought to you by Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt, the Ford Motor Company Fund, and the Allstate Foundation.
Hello, my name is Travis Williams, President and CEO of Academics and Athletic Consulting, focusing on educating and empowering tomorrow's collegiate athletic leaders. My passion is for the education and genuine concern and care for today's student athlete. It's the centerpiece of my life's work. A college education, both in and out of the classroom, is a truly rewarding benefit. For more information on AAC, you can go to www.academicsandathleticsconsulting.com. Once again, www.academicsandathleticsconsulting.com. Or you can follow me on Facebook at Academics and Athletic Consulting, or Twitter at Coach TWill24, or Instagram Travis L. Williams 24. Or you can call me at 404-542-6079. Once again, AAC is very proud to partner with J.R. McHenry of the Bossman Radio Show, covering sports and entertainment across the country. Please tune in weekly for informative, entertaining, and expert analysis on today's sports and entertainment topics. Thank you.
Back in the Bossman show here with Coach Michael Fly of the Florida Gulf Coast Eagles out of the Atlantic Sun Conference. Coach, what's good out in Fort Myers, man?
Always good down here, brother. About 75 degrees right now and sunny, and anytime it's not like that, we're confused down here, so it's hard to have a bad day in Fort Myers in South Florida.
I'm confused, too, Coach. It's 44 degrees today, Coach. I'm confused right now. It's 11, we're 44. Like, what's going on? But yes, indeed. Well, Coach, I must ask you, man, we talked when you first got hired in 2018, full-time as the head coach. I've been an assistant for a long time at Florida Gulf Coast. So tell me, Coach, what's been the biggest improvements in the program since you took over as you're the head man now going forward?
Well, I don't know if I'd even say improvements. We've had a lot of challenges, to be honest with you, and we're in a little bit of a situation that we haven't been in since I first got here. You know, when I got the job, I was really fortunate to be named the head coach here, and we were coming off Atlantic Sun Championship for, I think, our third year at that point. You know, we had Brandon Goodwin go to the Atlanta Hawks now and is playing well for those guys, but lost him to graduation. Lost Zach Johnson, who was probably going to be preseason player of the year, to a grad transfer. Lost all of our other starters as well to graduation. So it was a little bit of a rebuild, you know, when I got the job. So what we've kind of done is we relied on some transfers last year that had been here before. Some guys played well, some guys did not. So we've kind of hit reset and recruited a pretty good mix of high school kids that are learning and growing, some junior college kids to try to keep us as mature as possible. But this is really the first time for years and years we were able to kind of reload a little bit. And just based on, kind of numbers from a graduation standpoint, the last 2 years, it's been, hey, we got to rebuild this thing into what we think it can be. So it's been an interesting challenge, but I was really proud of our guys. Even losing all 5 starters from a championship team and multiple pros, we were able to finish 3rd in the league last year, had the best home record in the league. So I think we're moving in the right direction, but still got a lot of work to do.
And, Coach, like you said, what basically is a very key point for you now with the rebuild here and retooling is the development piece on and off the court, getting guys stronger in the weight room so they won't get injured. Also, going to be stronger to be able to take contact on the court and to play hard for you every night. And their skills, because when you have a mix of young and old guys and transfer guys, you have to get the guys all on the same page. So those 4 hours in the summertime is very key. And also preseason working out there in September and October there for November kicks off is very key to getting you guys on oiled up to get ready to play good now in January, February, and into March here.
For sure. I'm so blessed. The staff that I've got around me is tremendous, and I'll just touch on the guys that do the things you mentioned. I've got Travis Wallace as my strength and conditioning coach who was at UCF, was at VCU. He's been at a really good level in college. He was actually an all-league player here in the Atlantic Sun at North Florida, and then was with the Toronto Raptors before he came with me. He was actually Kyle Lowry's personal strength and conditioning coach. And so he kept Kyle, in really good form. That had been something that had been an issue for Kyle, when he was younger, was staying in shape. So Travis and he worked together, and I was fortunate enough. I was lucky, really, that Travis wanted to come back to college. So we've got legitimately an NBA strength conditioning coach, I think one of the best in the country, at the mid to low major level. And then I brought Joey Cantens on my staff, who was with me at Florida State. He was at USC with Coach Enfield. He was with us here. We made the Sweet 16 run, and he actually went over and spent 2 years in Germany in the top league there and worked with the San Antonio Spurs in the summer league. So, those two guys handle. Travis does all my strength conditioning, and Coach Cantens is player development. So we do things a little differently. We don't do much player development during practice. We'll practice as a team. Those guys do all individual workouts with Coach Cantens in the mornings. So that way you're getting better as an individual, and it's not just, hey, we're going to spend 10 minutes in practice like a lot of programs do. So I think I've got at this low to mid-major level, I think we've got two of the best in the country at just what you're talking about, strength conditioning and also developing guys and skills and making sure they're improving.
Because, Coach, at the low to mid-major level, you have to find guys that you have to project forwards. When they're juniors and seniors, they'll be what they'll grow into. A lot of people don't understand that, Coach. You understand it because we both played and know the game. But you have to project guys to a degree at the low to mid, at your level to make sure you have a guy that can come to a 4-star, 3-star guy by the time they're a junior or a senior with the player development and the strength and conditioning piece as well.
That's right. And, like I said, there's two ways to do it. We originally, when I was here with Coach Enfield, did it with, basically high school guys that really developed, and a transfer here and there. And then, Coach was really successful here. And then with Coach Dooley, we went more the transfer route with kind of, ready-made guys that you sit out and then you hope you can incorporate them into your program. So, I think we'll do a little bit of a mix of both. But you're 100% right. If you look at the two teams that have won our league since we've been to the NCAA tournament, we went in 2017, Lipscomb went in 18, and Liberty went in 19. They did it with all 3- and 4-year guys that had grown up through the program, versus going the transfer route like we had done here the last few years. So, we're kind of in the middle of that right now. I think we've got some really good young players. I think we got some good junior college guys. But realistically, when we step on the court right now, I've got 3 players that have played Division I basketball before.
Wow, yeah, that's definitely an interesting thing right there, Coach. And, for you guys, Florida is a very good recruiting ground. You got 4 schools in the A-Sun right there in Florida, which is yourself, Stetson, North Florida, and Jacksonville right there. So trying to compete for the same kind of player, so how do you differentiate yourself, Coach, in your program? You kind of laid it out there. How do you go about it, trying to be the Coach Jansen, Coach Driscoll, Coach Jones, those guys, trying to get those guys that they want as well down in Florida?
Yeah. I think we all probably recruit a little different guys just based on skill and kind of, what our programs are about. But we've been really fortunate. When I first got here from Florida State, Coach Enfield and I had a lot of relationships within the state of Florida based on our time in Tallahassee. So that kind of gave us a little bit of a jump on the competition early. And then guys that we were not able to even get on the phone when we first took the job here. 2 years later, you're in the Sweet 16, and now you're able to get guys on the phone that are getting high major recruitment. So we've kind of run the gamut here, being able to recruit certain kids in Florida based on the success that we've had. And, after the 2013 run, we signed some guys from the state of Florida that probably in a normal year we have no chance to get. And, those guys kind of led to the next one, to the next one, to the next one. So the state of Florida is really, really taking care of us. I've actually got 3 coming in next year from Orlando as well. So, we've been fortunate in that, the other schools, they get some good players in the state too, but based on our success and kind of my ties for now going on, let's see, I was 3 at Florida State and this is 9 here for 12 years. I really got to compliment the high school coaches, the AAU coaches in the state of Florida that have really taken care of this program.
Now, Coach, a lot of people are saying is, I told them in the past, you go out to play a rough non-con schedule. You got 3 wins, but people don't understand there's a lot that goes in there. You have to play guarantee games. You have to go on the road a lot. Can't get 10 people to come in and play you at your place when doing a non-con. So 3 wins is not what you want. But do you feel like your team really grew from adversity? Which you have three D1 guys that you haven't played D1 ball before. At least get 3 wins, get them a taste of it before they jump into the A-Sun play here as they are right now.
We did, JR, but I honestly, I've told people even here locally this, if I had it to do over, I probably would have scheduled a little differently. We scheduled the past 2 seasons as if we had all those all-league guys returning every year like we had in the past. And that's kind of what our fans have become accustomed to, and the people here is playing a really, really hard schedule. But, if you look around the country at some of the most successful mid-major programs, they don't play, a crazy hard game every night. What a lot of programs have done is they'll play, 6 to 8 tough games, sometimes 4 to 6, and then they're going to play 4 to 6 that if they feel like if they play well that night, that's a win. Well, what we did was go out and schedule the guarantee games, which is part of it. We played 3 of those. And then we played all programs that were either coming off 20-win seasons, league championships, and that's just kind of what we've done here. But it was tough for my guys because, in reality, we're losing to programs that where we are as a program right now, on paper, you probably should lose to. Now, we were fortunate to beat FAU, and we had a couple of built-in with non-ones, but I do think it helped us grow. What was hard was keeping those guys' confidence up that, hey, listen, you're not the team that your record indicates, but you're playing against junior, senior on the scouting report right now, and we're rolling out there with, at any point I look on the court, I got 3 freshmen, a sophomore, and a JUCO guy, so it's just where we're at as a program. But I do think it makes you tougher, it prepares you, but you do have to fight a little bit, keeping guys' confidence up when really you're losing some games that when you make the schedule, you say, hey, we better play really well tonight or this one's going to be a hard one to get.
You got that right, Coach. I think, like you said, playing against those high majors and quality mid-majors will help them down the road, whether it be this year, whatever happen next year, and on beyond, because the experience they get now, they're like, oh, we've done this before. It's not new to us anymore. It's not novel now. We've already been through this situation, so it's all good going forward.
That's right. And if you look even at some of the best teams we've had here, one of the reasons we were able to make the run in 13, now we played some very winnable games in other parts of the schedule, but as far as at the top of the schedule, my mind that doesn't float on me too bad here. It's been a few years. I believe we played VCU, Iowa State, St. John's, Miami, and Duke that year. So when we got into the NCAA tournament, they had played just as good of teams and tougher venues, actually. So that's kind of the model we've always followed. But with a team that's one of the most inexperienced teams in the country, which is what I have right now, you also want to be smart to schedule a few wins in there, and that's something we probably need to do a little more in the future if we're going to be young.
And, Coach, you got 3 wins in conference play now. You've got 6 wins on the year now, 3-3 in conference play. You got NJIT coming up this weekend. So how are your team feeling now with the guy that got to A-Sun play now, getting 3 wins, and have an opportunity to prepare really good for NJIT, a team that came with North Florida and beat those guys a week or so ago down there. So, those guys are ready to play coming down south for sure.
That's right. They've done a really good job. Coach Kennedy's done a really good job up there. They've got the best scorer in the league in Zach Cooks, who's actually a Georgia kid. So I think they've got really good talent. They've got another Georgia kid, actually, San Antonio Brinson, who's had a good run for them as well. But they actually are in a very similar situation to us. They played a tough non-conference schedule, did not play well in the non-conference, and now have been able to turn it around coming into the league and are similar to us. You know, they've won some that were really good wins for them, probably should have won a few that they haven't. But I think it'll be a really tough test for us. And I told our guys the other night, we had won 2 in a row. We're in a 5-point game with North Alabama, got a lead with 3 minutes to go. And those are games probably with a few more juniors and seniors you get done, you know, and that's what we worked on today, game-ending situations. And, hey, guys, do you see on the film, this is what we could have done differently. So we got a chance, we take care of business at home, to have won 3 of our last 4 and be headed in the right direction. But I think this week's really important preparing for those guys, and I think they're as good from a talent standpoint as anybody that we have in this league.
Well, Coach, you have 3 young men on your roster from the Atlanta area. Could you just talk about those young men, what they mean to your program?
For sure. You know, Georgia's always been really, really good to us in recruiting. If you look back, I mean, our first really big get from that area was Bernard Thompson, who was an all-league player here from Rockdale County, helped lead us to the Sweet 16 and multiple league championships. We had Jamel Jones from Green Forest, who transferred to us from Marquette, who was an all-league player here as well. As you go through the years, Reggie Reed from Harlem High School had a very good career when he was here. And then obviously the most, you know, kind of famous one from the State's been Brandon Goodwin, who now is with the Atlanta Hawks and was unbelievable for us here in his 2 years and even in his redshirt year. So that allowed us to recruit guys like Jalen Harper, who obviously has it in the bloodlines, you know, played at Pebblebrook, who's one of the better programs in the state there. And obviously Jared had a tremendous amount of success at Auburn. And then we were able to get Brian Thomas, who unfortunately for him, you know, he played at Kell High School and played for Game Elite, one of the bigger AU programs in the state, has had an injury-riddled career, but is a great kid. And if his body didn't betray him so much, we've always believed in his talent and ability. It's just been tough to get him on the court. And then we've got Tracy Hector from the Jonesboro area that we took as a transfer because he was eligible immediately after one of our kids went down for season-ending surgery. And he's been really good for us. He's one of our best defenders. Was really productive the other night against North Alabama. Not a huge stat stuffer, but a guy that does a ton of things that win games for you, taking charges. And, you know, he's had multiple games with 7 assists and 1 turnover for a power forward. So Georgia's always been really good to us. The South, both Georgia and Florida, have really taken care of us, and we hope they continue to do so.
I hate I'm going to miss you guys, Coach, because you know you come to Atlanta on the 13th of February. I'll be in Chicago for the All-Star weekend because Trae Young's probably going to the All-Star game. So I already pretty much told me they've booked my stuff for Chicago for their weekend. We also had like Cam Reddish and those guys being the rookie sophomore game. So I'm going to miss you guys when you come to Kennesaw State. But hopefully to see you at the Final Four for sure, Coach.
Sounds like a plan. And you know, going to Chicago for All-Star weekend is not such a bad deal.
You got there. It's a little bit cold, too cold for me. That's all it is. It's cold weather. That's the only thing I have my whole interpretation, Coach. It might be a little too cold for me, man. I don't got to the big. Coach, I hate cold weather, man. So if it's in the 50s, I'm okay. If it's like in the 20s, I'm gonna be like, oh my God, why am I here?
Well, we got to get you down to see us in Fort Myers and get you out of that cold weather and get you in the sun a little bit.
Hey, I would love to, Coach. We got to get that set up, man, for sure. All right, Coach. Thank you as always, brother.
Appreciate you guys having me on. Have a great trip to Chicago and a good rest of the year.
Hip-hop fans, I got a great album for you. The debut album from Family Grind ENT, True Speech and 313 Fresh. We're going to give you 2 discs, 33 songs of pure, genuine hip-hop. Albums available on iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, illstreetrex.com, and streaming live right now on Rhapsody, Beats Music, Spotify, Xbox Music, Slacker Radio, and SoundCloud. Check them out today. True Speech and 313 Fresh. Family Grind ENT. Believe in it. Get it.
A gorgeous tan from Suntan City gives you an inner glow that relights the fire when you run into your first crush.
Vicky, who was that?
An old boyfriend.
Lucky you just tanned at Suntan City.
Lucky he's single. We're doing lunch tomorrow.
Won't be single for long then.
During Tour of the City, try all 5 tans, including spray tan, for just $4.99. Restrictions may apply. Click to buy now.
Suntan. When you're a teen, you finally get to make some of your own decisions. Who are you going to hang out with? What do you want to be? Are you going to glance at that text while driving? Remember, a split second is all it takes for something tragic to happen. Be in the zone. Turn off your phone. Visit childrenshospital.vanderbilt.org/BITZ to learn more about our teen driver safety program. Brought to you by Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt, the Ford Motor Company Fund, and the Allstate Foundation.
It's maybe the night that my dreams might let me know. All the stars are closer. All the stars are closer.
Tell me what you gonna do to me. Confrontation ain't nothing new to me. You could bring a bullet, bring a sword, bring a morgue, but you can't bring the truth to me.
Alexa, play Kendrick Lamar and SZA.
Okay. Maybe the night that my dreams might let me know. All the stars are closer.
With Amazon Music, a voice is all you need. Get tens of millions of songs. Download the Amazon Music app today.
Yeah, it's your man JC, the host with the most, baby, and it goes down each and every Saturday night right here in the city of Memphis. That's right, y'all. It goes down at Clicks Sports Bar Memphis, baby. 3705 Malco Way, Memphis, Tennessee, 38125. Come out and join us, the Three Kings, each and every Saturday night for the livest karaoke in the city. Everybody gets in free till 10 p.m. Only $5 after. Great food. We got drink specials. We got all kind of games, man. We got the pool tables popping. Whatever you want, we got you, man. Come on out. Have a good time with us each and every Saturday night. That's Clicks Sports Bar, Memphis.